hear from 5 amazing individuals. So at this time, I would like you to please silence your cell phones or kind of put it on vibrate. I need the world.
Salutations and greetings, ILead. How's everybody feeling? Alright, we're going to get the energy level up in here and get excited because today you are part of something extraordinary. Today you are part of something unique. Today and forevermore, you are and always will be a leader in your own right. Hi, my name is Kevin Ali, and I'm a senior here at Florida Atlantic University, majoring in biotechnology. Now, the story I'm about to share with you is a story I will not forget in my lifetime. It's a story about building relationships in a global society. It's a story about making connections. And most importantly, it's a story about you too. So I invite you, come join me. This summer, I embarked on an adventure and worked in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, through an academic program called the Washington Center. And I encountered huge attainments that profoundly impacted me. However, the moment I landed in D.C., I was a complete mess of anxiety and nervousness. All I was thinking about at the time was how an average person like me was going to manage in the capital of the nation, full of all these big shots. How can I be profound? But I'm just a small kid who was born in a small island in the Caribbean called Trinidad. Yeah, represent, and grew up in a small town in Florida. How can I make an impact in our nation's capital? But as I interacted with DC life and when the combination of those stories take place in a city like DC, magic happens. I profoundly learned something from everyone I came into contact with. And I made such well-established connections with individuals such as Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill Nye taught me that encouraging the generation after us is our responsibility, and that science never goes out of style. Also, Dr. Eric Green, the director of genomics of the National Institutes of Health, who taught me to be serious in what you do, but don't take yourself too seriously. Why? Because when you think about it, most of life is improvising. And this is coming from the guy who was personally hired by President Obama. Also, Mashal Ahmed, the senior manager of the Washington Center, who coached me into writing the most successful speech I ever gave in my life. And she's a huge reason why I'm able to be on the stage today to share my. And also other profound individuals such as the Vice President of Verizon, the Vice President of PepsiCo, and even Nick Cannon. Now, my limits were stretched to the maximum in DC. It was the most stressed out I ever was in my life. However, it was the happiest and most rewarded I ever felt in my life. But through the belief of my friends, my co-workers, and my advisors, I was able to make my mark in our nation's capital. After being nominated by my peers, I auditioned and was then selected to be one of 2 student speakers to give a commencement address to the Washington Center class of 2016, which was a cohort of 450 students whose diversity spanned the globe. Every experience in DC, every relationship and connection I made was used to piece that speech together, and I encountered huge attainments from that, such as being congratulated personally by the Washington Center president on my commencement address. But in my opinion, the greatest attainment was the lifelong friends and the personal connections I made through it all. Through all that nervousness and anxiety I felt in the beginning, a science guy like me, an FAU student just like you, was able to make his mark and hashtag shine bright in the politically talent-driven capital of the United States. Now, if I had to share with you what it took for me to achieve this milestone in my life, it's what I call the AAA principle. Now for this point, I'm going to need some help here. I cannot hope to do this alone. I'm going to need your assistance. Can I get everybody in the room to do this for me? Now say fire. Now say that. You're going to save this to your brain. So, AAA principle, let's go. 1, be ambitious. Simply work hard and seek opportunities, even if they aren't presented to you in your face. 2, be adventurous. Take it upon yourself to step outside your comfort zone and take a leap of faith on opportunities. 3, be accepting. Keeping an open mind in a global society, it'll take you far. Not everything will go your way. Make mistakes. Be prepared to deal with pressure. It's all part of the learning experience. And this is the best part. The mistakes, they're yours to make. Own them. But the successes, they're yours to embrace. Embrace them. Now, I want to deeply emphasize that none of the things I accomplished in DC would have been possible without this network of global connections. This notion applies to us all because we never truly get anywhere alone. We are all connected. There were many times in DC where I felt like I was sinking in a sea of cold, cold water. But then a sea of connections would stretch their hands out from under me and lift me back up above water. That's the power of making relationships in a global society. So if you ever feel like you are sinking or on the verge of giving up, remember, everyone who has ever believed in you, I believe in you. The personal connections you made with your teachers and your peers, the hopes of your friends. If you don't have enough power and strength to get through the day, then just borrow it from their hands. Because that's all the strength you created. You bear the encouragement of all those people on your shoulders. Connections and relationships, they don't disappear. That's the power of building relationships in a global society. And for me personally, I've done more, I've seen more, and I've learned more than I ever thought possible because I let myself meet these people and I let myself build relationships with them. Ultimately, what I learned from this DC experience is that college, it doesn't change your heart, no. It reveals it. Now to take this home, I'm going to need your help once again. I cannot hope to do this alone. So really quickly, can I get everybody in the room? Can you put your hand over your heart for me? Now freeze. Now listen. Hear that? Feel that? That's called purpose. All of our hearts beat to the same frequency in connection. Utilize your purpose. Utilize your connections and relationships. Now go! Make today ridiculously amazing. I love you all. Thank you so much.
When you look at me, what do you see? Do you see my brown skin and vibrant hair? Do you see that I'm a woman? Do you see my FAU nursing uniform? Are you wondering if I'm smart or how old I am? Hi, my name is Deshauna Dixon. I'm a young black woman, and despite my many accomplishments, that's all people see. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the clothes I wear, and not my favorite Forever 21 bodysuits or the crop tops that show my physique, but the clothes I can't take off when it gets too hot or too cold or too tight around the neck. Let's start with the piece that keeps me warm throughout all season. I can't scrub off my chocolatey brown coat. It keeps me warm It defines who I am and my background. No, I don't speak proper for a black girl. And I ain't ghetto. Those aren't things that define people of my kind. Those are things that ignorant people fail to realize we don't encompass. Simply a dream they're trying to speak into existence. Who says the color of your skin defines how human you are? The shade of your coat doesn't decipher the amount of respect and how far you will go within life. Believe it or not, we're all alike in here than we fail to realize. I was raised by a single mother, meaning finances were tight. I know we've all been in a situation where we couldn't afford something. Don't lie, we've all looked at the Rolexes, the BMWs, or we've all looked at what the next person has that we don't and we couldn't afford. And one of those things are our dreams. They seem so far, so unreachable due to the lack of finances. I currently have 2 jobs, and I still manage being a BSN nursing student right here at FAU. Why would you let your financial burden hold you back from chasing your dreams? The mindset that you have and the skills that you hold is enough to get you as far as you need to go and beyond. Your ability to work hard at your dreams, that's priceless. I'm 17 years old, and I started taking college classes at the age of 14. And all the things I completed in such a short amount of time. I can't take off my hat of age and add 5 years to it. I mean, I would if I could, so I'd be in the club, but no rush at all, I promise you. But they say, age ain't nothing but a number, but society thinks it's more than that. Let me tell you the trick that society played on us. It made us believe that there are age-related barriers to our dreams. Believe it or not, you can go far and beyond. Where you are right now, how old you are right now, is exactly where you're supposed to be. You're right on track to your personal success. We all have a different purpose in life. We all have a different ending. We all have a different mountain that we're trying to get on top of. Be proud of who you are right now. Cherish what you've become right now. I'm proud of the I'm proud of the strong boots I lace up every morning that represent my womanhood. I'm not too strong or too smart or too determined or too masculine. I'm a strong, smart, determined woman. And I have the ability and the strength to conquer anything that I put my mind to. And so do you. Where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. Never feel like you're not going fast enough, or maybe you're too young, or you're too old. Who says you need to have it all figured out by the time you're 21? Let's take Who says you can't be a nurse or a doctor at the age of 16? You don't need a deep voice and gray hair to advocate for patients and to prescribe the proper medication. The skills that you have and your determination to achieve is all you need to reach success. Be proud of who you are right now at this very moment. You were created this way for a reason. Learn to cope with the clothes you can't take off when it gets too hot or too cold or too tight around the neck. I'm young, I'm black, and I'm a woman. I'm Deshauna Dixon. Who are you? Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
technology, and today I'm going to teach you how to destroy stuff. Yeah, destroy! But to fully understand what I mean, you will have to wait for the last 30 seconds. It's a real treat, so please stay in tune. So, have you ever had that one person in your organization that wanted to do big things, rule the world, be successful, right? But had no idea how to do it, or have the mindset to even accomplish this goal, right? Yeah, I see some heads, right? Well, I had an experience this summer. I had the opportunity to go on a leadership excursion, and I met this one girl. Let's call her Susie for now. But Susie wanted to become president of the United States of America, right? And she would proclaim this every time she saw fit, which was pretty much all the time. But when it came to talking about actual national issues and how we can affect our local communities and make an impact, she would argue, saying, that's not possible. We can't achieve that. People just don't change. Now another person chimed in and said, how can you have no faith in humanity, or the people in this room individually can make an impact? With that type of mindset, you will never become president of the United States. I know. Susie, at that moment, her dreams destroyed. Now, imagine that, though. Imagine what type of leader you would be if you had no belief system in actually achieving anything, or believing in the strengths of the individual strengths of everyone that was in your organization. Now, as a leader, you need to create an environment where everybody in your organization can become the best versions of themselves, right? And help them thrive towards their strengths. Now, today I'm going to show you how you can create that inclusive environment, how you can destroy on a daily basis and have your leadership skills be awesome. Okay? So it's 5 different steps, so make sure you pay attention, right? So first step, cultural self-awareness. What in the world is that? Well, think about it this way. What do you like to eat? What do you like to do? What is important to you? Is that the answer? Yeah? Why? Why do you even care? Why is it important? Why is it your passion? Each one of us sees the world in a lens, and this lens is crafted by our past experiences, our cultural influences, and this lens influences how we make decisions and how our biases are formed, right? So, being able to be aware of why you make decisions, of your background, and then realizing that you individually are very different than everybody in this room, right? And then being able to realize that the person sitting next to you also has their own lens, being understanding of their lens. 2, emotional intelligence. It's pretty much like empathy, right? But with a little bit of awareness. Being knowledgeable and aware of not only how other people react or feel to certain different situations or topics, but also how you react, how you feel about those topics and situations. And then also being able to control your reaction to those situations in the eyes of your organization, and being powerful enough to be able to influence based on your reaction. 3, you are all doing it right now. Maybe not the people texting in the back, but most of you, right? Are actively listening to me. You're giving me direct eye contact, and you're being silent, right? So imagine, if you will, instead of me, a fancy dressed student who someone mistakenly gave a microphone to, but a close friend, or someone from your organization, right? Try sitting with them, listening to them, being quiet for a full minute. That's hard, being silent for a full minute. And then what's also hard is the other person talking for a full minute. So to be incredible problem solvers, you need to be incredible listeners, because you actually have to listen for the problem. Listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. Good. 4, being careful with your words. Have you ever had a time where you were talking to them, and then everything that they took from you, they got mad or they got offended by what you said? But you were just talking, right? But because they took it the wrong way, you ruined a relationship, it ruined a working environment, it ruined a networking connection, right? But you were just talking. Now, as leaders, we need to be able to articulate our words correctly because our words have power. And that power, in turn, influences our organization. So be cautious with how you actually deliver your message to your organization. 5, see cultural differences as an asset, right? We're all different. We're all unique, right? We're all different. You're different from me. I'm different from you. And being able to see how people are different is very important. Now, by definition, an effective leader means your team is being effective, right? Yeah? Thanks for participation. Cool. It means that your team is being effective. But how do you do that? How do you make your team effective? You have to do your research. You need to educate yourself on how diverse your organization is and all the personal strengths that each individual person can give you at your disposal. Okay? So make sure that you give people a position that they can thrive at their strengths and give recognition when it's due. Because that is positive psychology. People will want to wake up in the morning. People will want to work for you. People will want to give you a better quality of work. Okay? All-time high will be in your morale and your effective productivity. It's going to be through the roof. Now, this is the moment. This is the moment that you have all been waiting for. The last 30 seconds, right? So I want to keep you one more thing in mind. Try to find the positive out of the negative. Okay, think of the word destroy. D-E-S-T-R-O-Y. Dedicate everything of self to rise over yesterday. Again, dedicate everything of self to rise over yesterday. Because if you can put your whole soul into your passions, into everything that you do daily, then everything in the past would have made you stronger. Because instead of thinking, oh, my dreams and my goals were destroyed, I can't do it, all that stuff, you'll actually realize that in the end, you've actually conquered. Thank you.
The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Our world is in need of leaders who will boldly rise and do what's right. Today, I hope to share with you how you can face the world in need. My name is Amanda Casapava, and I'm crazy enough to think that I can change the world. These last 3 months I've spent working in Thailand for a nonprofit. I was tasked with recruiting students from all over the world to attend an international leadership conference in Vietnam. The conference pushed students to become aware of the world around them. So we dealt with issues such as human trafficking, poverty, the refugee crisis. I mean, those are some big conversations, right? So what are we going to do about it? Our world is in need. Do you guys agree? Do you think the world is in need? Yeah? Give me some energy up here. Come on, guys. So the world is in need. So what are we going to do? We are going to face it. We are going to be flexible. F. A. Aware. C. We are going to collaborate. And E. We are going to have empathy. To kick face off, we're going to start with flexibility, F. So this is kind of funny, we live in Florida, right? So we must be palm trees. We must sway with the wind, be bendable, but not so stiff that we break. In Thailand, every single day would bring change. We were thrown tasks, goals, expectations that would change within the hour. I am not exaggerating. So what do? We lead in good faith, and we prepare. But when we're thrown things that we cannot prepare for, You just gotta roll with the punches. My mentor would always say to me, Amanda, the only thing in life that is certain is uncertainty. So we lead in good faith, right? So some of you may be thinking, that's kind of funny. How am I supposed to lead in good faith if I don't even know the kind of leader I want to be, the kind of leader I want to become? What do I do? How am I supposed to lead in good faith? I don't even know what I'm supposed to have for dinner tonight, and you want me to lead in good faith in a changing world? Yeah, I do. That is your starting point. A, awareness. There's two parts to awareness. Self-awareness and global awareness. So let's begin with self-awareness. Please tell me why you decided to wake up at 9 a.m. on a Saturday and be here.
We were bored.
No. I know some of you are here to fulfill the registration requirement for your student organization, and that's okay. But others are here because they want to see the change of the world tomorrow. They want to fuel our community. They want to make us better. Is that the kind of people that are sitting in this room right here? Yeah? So that's awareness. Once you figure out what you do and why you do it, you're golden. So the next step, please tell me that most of us are subscribed to something other than Facebook and Instagram. Business Insider, New York Times, anything. Some sort of news outlet, right? All of us, I hope. Please tell me we're college students, yes? Do research? Okay. So global awareness, the second piece. This part is having the curiosity to understand all the other moving parts. There is no such thing as an unbiased point of view. So go find it. Look at all the other moving parts. Do the research. Look around you. The world's in need, right? So the F and A, flexibility and awareness, you're focusing on yourself. The C and E, collaboration and empathy, that makes it a little bit more complicated because you're involving other people. So, in order to lead in this room, outside, in the world, you must be able to effectively collaborate. Now, you just heard actively listening. That's the first step. Because in Thailand, my bosses were from Singapore. So they spoke great English, but that didn't mean there was constant miscommunication. I mean, we all know the difference between tree and three, right? But when it's your second language and with an accent, that doesn't necessarily sound right. So there was a lot of miscommunication, and the team and I had to learn that we had to stop assuming and talking and start actively listening to what our bosses were saying, what was expected. We had to understand. We had to ask questions and clarify. We couldn't just assume, which we did a lot. And then once we figured that piece out, it all kind of fell into place. So collaborating. You must be able to understand and exchange ideas because the greatest ideas are created when we learn to collaborate. That's beautiful, right? I think so. So the last part of FACE is empathy. Everybody knows what empathy means? If not, I'm about to tell you. No, seriously. So empathy. We are really, really lucky. Because we attend the most diverse university in the state of Florida. Yes, we meet as Mockingbird. Go Owls, yes. So I push back and say, are we taking the opportunity to network with people who are different than us? I mean, look around this room. Naturally, we cluster to people that are the same. We like that. It's comfortable. But what happens when you're tasked with working with someone from a different country? Are you able to step in, make them feel comfortable, break down your English, make them feel like they're valued? That's the hardest part. All any of us wants to basically know is that at the end of the day, what we say matters. We've all heard that quote, People will never remember what you say. People will remember how you make them feel, right? So we have to make people feel valued, like they matter. And that's faith, flexibility, awareness, collaboration, and empathy. Every single day, the world gets dark. We need you, owls, to become that light, to get us out of there. We need you to be crazy enough to face it. Face every single person telling you you can't do it. No, but we're owls, and we are going to do it. I need you guys to join me in this craziness and believe that we can change the world, and we will, as soon as we start believing in ourselves. Thank you.
Can anybody tell me what this is? Well, it's not a rock. It's not L5S1. So what is it? This is my backbone. Not my actual backbone. Relax, it's a symbol, but it's mine. You need to get me wrong. I need this now more than ever. Hello everyone, my name is Derek Vaughn, and I am the founder and director of Rhetorical Oracle, a student-organized grassroots speech lab initiative here at FAU. I am what you call a public speaker. I'm also an introvert, and I'm also really nervous about all of this. So by now you're probably wondering, well, how does that work exactly? Well, contrary to popular belief, public speaking and leadership qualities are not merely talents, but skills. Skills that I'm actually learning how to teach. Now, I can stand here and give you a lecture about communication theory or those skills, but all of that is useless if you don't think you're capable. The greatest gift I could give you, no, even attempt to give you, would be what my teachers gave me, a backbone. Everyone is capable of becoming a leader, regardless of the myths and misconceptions you might tell yourselves. Like most, growing up I was enamored by the confidence of performance. Meanwhile, I would get so nervous just talking to my friend that I would want to pee my pants. Imagine a flash flood, just, emanating from my pants. It wasn't exactly public speaking material. But as I got older, it was my experiences and communications that had me develop my voice and who I was to become. Being the intrepid explorer of the human condition that I was, I found acting and was accepted into a prestigious musical theater program. I was a proud and active student until I wasn't anymore. Somewhere along the lines, I stopped believing in myself. And it tampered with the quality of my work. This trickled down into every area of my life, this feeling of I'm capable, but I can't. 2 years later, something changed. It was a regular 6 a.m. morning in a regular yoga class with my regular yoga teacher. An hour and 10 minutes of my practice, I'm covered in sweat, and I begin my obligatory back bends. I start from a standing position, and I bend back until my hands touch the floor. My teacher approaches me, he takes a second, and he says, grab ankles, you're capable. Of course, I'm nodding no in protest, and yet my hands were walking closer and closer to my feet. I begin to panic. I take a breath. And with the help of my teacher, I am standing, bending backwards, grabbing my ankles for the first time, watching the seemingly impossible become easy. I come out of the posture, covered in sweat and disoriented, and there he is with stars in his eyes, seeing all of the potential in the world, a potential I haven't seen in myself yet. He pats me on the back and he says, good, now do this every day. So I did. Every day, challenging myself to see what my teachers saw in me, in my everyday life and my yoga practice. By the time I got to FAU, I started lifting heavier weights. figuratively speaking, that is. Just like my backbench, I took on more responsibilities. I participated in undergraduate research, and I hosted mock presentation workshops. And just like that, everything began to click. Finally, the knowledge gained from my teachers, past and present, began to flow and connect effortlessly. And I finally understood what it means to have unwavering faith in myself. The journey into leadership can be a struggle for anyone in any given moment. I was not born a leader. Very few people are. Our past does not define our potential. Neither do our failures. So for all of you unrecognized, yet brilliant misfits out there, I invite you to be heard. Just please be patient and forgiving with yourselves along the way. In the meantime, I offer you this, a backbone. With love, the rhetorical oracle team. We need this now more than ever. Opportunity bites. Thank you.
Because I'm about to take you through a roller coaster of announcements that you need to know. Are you ready?